Okay, let's get started. Good evening, good morning, depends where you are. I'm Irene Wong, your host for Everything Ballroom. Today, I'm so excited to have six wonderful guests to join our channel and Everything Ballrooms. I am a poem dancer. I'm also a owner for a ballroom dance shop for called Everything Ballrooms. And I'm so delighted that we have a guests to join us. And these six guests is amazing. And if you have questions, I can't wait for asking them myself. But if you have questions, you do be able to type in the live and then share your questions at the end. And if you like what we're doing, please give us thumbs up and thank you and welcome to the channel. The six guests we have are John Depalma and Marianne Nicole. And most people will know John is a well-known MC in most of the ballroom competition. His voice, everybody can hear and understand how well they are. Marianne is a judge at a lot of ballroom dance competitions and a very good coach and choreographer. You are going to love her coaching if you know her. And together, they also are event organizer for Florida Star Ball and Capital Dance Championships. Then the next two guesses are Martin Cawston and Justin Deehr. Martin is also a busy coach and adjudicator in all major ballroom competitions. And Justin also is one of the most popular deck captain in the ballroom industry. If you in dance competition before, you must know Justin. No question about that. And together, they are also the event organizer for Wisconsin State Dance Championships. The last two guesses are very well known, Shane and Shannon Jensen, and everybody will be amazed for their performance if you saw the cabaret competitions. They are the champion for the Blackpool. They also are 9 times non-competed U.S. national cabaret champions, U.S. World American Rhythm finalists, and U.S. 9 champions. Congratulations! Welcome to this event. Oh, you need to unmute yourself because you're muted before. Yep, Justin, do you mind to help unmute yourself? And Helen, do you mind to remove the screen? Thank you.
Yeah.
Welcome. You're welcome. So thank you for joining us. And Helen, can you unshare the screen? Thank you. Yes, thank you. So grateful for your time. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Yep, to kickstart the 2025, and let's start with a fun and talking about each of you, your wish, goal, or resolution for 2025. Maybe we go around. Let's start with Marianne.
Hi, everybody. Happy New Year. I would say that my wish for health for everybody, good health, because without health, our health, we don't have much. And I feel that that's what I would like for all of us is to have good health.
Great.
Yeah.
Shannon?
I mean, I was kind of thinking this more on a personal level, kind of goes along with hers. We're always kind of looking to be our last performance. So we just have been putting together a new cabaret piece, which is with the lifts and throws and things like that. So we're looking kind of to increase, I guess you could say, our health, but also our performance level. So, and looking to move up a little bit in the rhythm category. So that's kind of our New Year's goal.
So not only cabaret, but also getting the top rhythm. Wonderful. Can't wait to see that. Okay, how about you, Justin?
Happy New Year, everyone. I would say just everyone has a prosperous and great new year in our professional world, our personal world, and for everybody in the dancing world.
So what is your resolution to go? I'm not 100% sure I get it.
Everyone, wishing that everyone has a prosperous new year for 2025.
So what does prosperous mean to you?
Ooh.
Be direct and personal.
Successful in their business, monetary wise, health wise, dancing wise, just everybody has a wonderful 2025.
That's quite vague. Personal, please.
Now
Now it's on the spot.
Now you're on the
Now
spot.
you did.
You're gonna have to come back to me. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Okay. Because I don't want like full conversation, okay? Marianne, I let you go for this time, but everyone getting full, I cannot get that. That's too full now. Okay, so Martin, you can do better than this, okay?
Well, now I'm scared. I'm scared to answer. Okay, so because I'm from England, so I have my family.
No,
Yeah.
really?
I have my family in England and I have my chosen family here in America. I wish them health, happiness, everything else. I would like Wisconsin State Dance Sport Championships to be bigger than ever. And wherever you compete, I hope Justin doesn't shout at you.
Talk about specific.
Yeah, because I hear
Great,
him.
it's better. And John, I hope I can count on you to do much better.
Oh, I'm feeling the pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Need
Well-
no pressure.
Okay. Of course, I had a big health issue last year. So my goal for this year is to be the healthiest that I can be. I'd like to lose some weight, be more devoted to exercising, to be physically fit, and to continue on doing what I'm doing and have the health and the stamina to keep traveling and emceeing. And of
Okay.
course, we want to have 2 great competitions this year too.
Okay. Yes. So I want this last one to be even better, a little bit more personal.
Shame.
Ooh.
Oh, I was personal.
That's
That
you,
wasn't
Justin.
personal enough.
Back to you.
Okay. You will have one more. Okay, you go. Shane.
Okay. So because we're, our entire industry is very competition based, one of the things that I find for myself is that it's very easy to get sucked into the competition and forget to actually enjoy what we do. So it just becomes work, it becomes stress, it becomes, just a thing. So my New Year's resolution for myself has been to slow down, enjoy what we're doing, and actually dance because we love it rather than because it's our job and because it's something that we have to do, but that we really get to enjoy it and share it with others.
It's important.
I'm excited for
That's-
yours.
That's a very good one. Actually, that has been when we talk to a lot of judges and recommendation, it is start with enjoying. And it's easy to get into the competition mode and forget about that. Wonderful as a leading example. So, Justin, I don't forget. I haven't forget. So no foo-foo to me this time, okay? Be specific.
Yeah.
I also want to lose a little bit of weight.
A lot.
Well, if I had my magic wand, I could do that for all of you.
Yeah.
But I also hope that since we all work so hard that Martin and I maybe have a little bit more downtime and be able to, do a little vacation or something. We haven't done that in a few years. So I'm hoping for that this year.
Together.
Oh, I love that. Where where's your wish list of the location?
Oh,
Actually, Hong Kong is on our bucket list.
yeah,
Taiwan, and we'd like to go back to India.
yeah.
Oh, mostly Asia, my favorite areas. Perfect. So we'll connect, maybe I'm going to show you around, be your tour guides.
We'd love that. That would be great.
That's great. So I like that we kickstarted with some great wishes and a wonderful 2025. And I want to make sure everyone will have that. And I, of course, want my business, everything Ballroom grow as big as we can as well. And together will be great. And I have more pro-am and more dancer coming to this industry. Yes.
Yes.
Work. So, trying to ask you guys why all of you get together. What's the occasion? What bring you guys together into one place today?
Who's going?
I'll go.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I think all of us just have, just built friendship over time. That I know Justin, Martin are come for the holidays, and we just got back from visiting our families for the holidays, and we actually bought a house just not far from here. So we're all pretty close together, and John and Marianne are like the gathering place for all of us. So, and it helps that they're kind of just the ringleaders, I think.
Yeah.
So.
Thanks.
I like the ringleader, the idea. So, Marianne, as you are the ringleader, may I ask, are you a good cook to host all those things, the ringleader? And that is a good question for you.
What's the question?
Are you a good cook to
No.
bring all the people
Oh, no, no,
together?
no.
So,
Now,
I see you.
that picture was taken because John had to leave, and he said, now you have to stir this every 20 minutes. That's the only reason why that picture was like that. Yep.
That's in our old house, isn't it?
No.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
here.
here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep, that's here.
So, what is the answer, everyone?
No.
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 There's the
But
answer.
Marianne
This is
sets
what
a
I
beautiful
like.
table.
This is what I like to do. I like to set a table for whatever occasion. It doesn't matter what. That's what I like to do.
Yes, that's what I heard. You are ringleader for sure. Look at this ringleader look, right? You are pulling people together.
Oh, I
Oh
got
my God. You are setting the table beautifully. Look at that. Can I have a get too?
Absolutely.
You did?
You said those.
He did. Well,
You're welcome.
Yep, exactly.
We want to join you next time if we can, and then have so much fun together. So I love that you guys share these photos, and this is a wonderful, wonderful. So Hannah, you can remove this now. And so now we know Marianne is not the best cook and the ringleader. Who is the best cook when you get together?
the three of us.
So
Yep.
to put it exactly, it would be
John.
John first, and
Justin.
Justin and Shane, and Marianne, I, and Martin. You're kind of in the middle.
Martin cooks.
Oh,
Martin
cooks good.
Rude. The men in the back
Martin.
cook. The ladies stay out of the
We
way.
Right.
stay out of the
Yeah.
way.
There we go.
Martin cooks, Justin bakes.
I
Yes.
help.
Yep.
I'm a helper.
Yep.
Justin is an amazing baker.
Yeah. And Shane makes an unbelievable cheesecake.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We keep telling him he should go into business.
We went to a restaurant one time. It was my birthday, and he made me a cheesecake. And he asked the waitress if we could have it, in the restaurant, because it was a restaurant. She said yes, only if I could have a piece. So he gave her a piece, and she came back and she goes, "Okay, you need to sell this because this is the best cheesecake I've ever had." And so that's how good of a cheesecake he makes. And Justin, his baking is unbelievable. And then you have the two chefs in the background there. And then you have us.
We just look pretty.
Yeah, I set the table, and she says, "Yeah, that's good." And there we have it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That I like that. And then you can, share this. So I love this, the fun part. And then, John, you're a good cook, and then all the guys actually are better cook.
They are.
And that's a dancer of us, right? So, well, we just look pretty and dancing and then breathe a flower. You guys cook.
Yeah.
This is really, really great. So now I want to ask Shannon and Shane. You guys wanted to be, focus. We talking about your goal is trying to, go beyond the cabaret and going into the more the rhythm area. Share with us what your actual plan and how you want to do it, and inspire us as a pro-am dancer to follow your footsteps as well.
You want to go first?
So we actually had a conversation about this yesterday about once again I'm talking about like not being too stressed or and not enjoying it enough, right? Is that we in the past have always worked to try to be the best dancer possible, which is good, but we lose focus about what we actually feel or think about the dancing itself. It usually just comes out trying to be perfect. And kind of our own epiphany is recognizing that perfect doesn't actually exist. And so you work hard to do it the best you can, but there's got to be some personal expression, some emotion behind it. And that conviction, that love of what we do needs to come outward more so the audience can enjoy it. So where we're talking about the rhythm, what we've been doing so far has not produced the same result we've been able to achieve with our cabaret, in that our cabaret, I think we feel it more naturally. We don't try to be perfect in that one as much as we do just really try to dance and connect more. So that's kind of been our idea with rhythm this year, is we're going to try to connect more through the feeling of the dancing rather than just doing it correctly.
Yeah, I think also to add to that, in this industry, I think it's for professionals. We get a lot of specialists because we have so many talented dancers in this industry, I think now, that we get people kind of specializing in certain categories. And of course, they've all at some point gained experience or are able to teach all categories usually. But our goal has been, while we're still dancing, this is the only time of our life really that we're going to have to be professional competitors. So our goal has been to gain as much experience and knowledge in all styles so that we're not just great in one division. And I think also just our growing up, for people that know us from before being professional competitors, we both started in other areas. Shane was a pretty intense gymnast. I got a degree in dance, not ballroom dance, just dance. And we actually competed together first in the international style Latin. And we just picked up cabaret because we fought too much in the Latin. And probably a lot of you can relate to that. And so we picked that up just kind of as a fun side project, which made it very easy, as Shane was saying, to kind of attach our personal feelings and stuff to it, and ended up kind of taking off. So we said, you know what, we've had experience in everything with previous partners, different styles over the years. We want to just do as much as we possibly can while we can. So
This is great. So, anything else that, before I open up for our, guesses or live, audience for questions, anything you guys want to chime in, to share, or inspire for our poem dancers or the newcomer coming to the industry?
Okay, I'm going to say something along the lines of what we're discussing here. I think that we all love our industry. We all love our business. We all love what we do. And we've been teaching for years. Now we're involved in the competition side of it. And it's all wonderful. And it's given us great exposure to so many different people from so many different walks of life. And generally, when people come into a dance studio to learn how to dance, they're not coming in because they want to be competitive dancers. They're coming into a studio because they believe that dancing is going to be the solution for something else that they want to accomplish. And dancing is the vehicle to make that happen. And it's very true. When you finally adopt dancing as your sport, I want to stay along the lines of what Shane was talking about. You don't want to lose sight of why you're doing it. It's the journey that you go on that is really important. It's not the medal or whether you win. If you winning is going out there and being able to do what you and your teacher were working on to accomplish what you wanted to do at that event. That's more important than whether you place first, second, or third, because you have no control over that. So the best advice would be to always go out there with a great attitude. Don't worry about everybody else. Just go out there and do the very best you can and let the chips fall where they may. You'll really enjoy it much, much more that way.
I think another
Oh,
great
smart.
quote somebody said was just told us a long time ago. They reminded us, one of our coaches, of this, that they said, winning isn't normal. And I'm sure it's probably a quote from somebody I don't know who to give credit to, but they said winning isn't normal. And so I have to remind myself, but my students also, of this, that just because you didn't win that event doesn't mean you won't win one down the road. And just because you won the last one doesn't mean you will win this one. And that it's okay because it's not normal. But the journey, like what John's saying, is the important part where you really gain the most gold medals, I guess you could say.
Great. So anything else before I open up? And Ellie, you were the one that watching or the YouTube, the live. Can you, if not, I will let you start to bring some question to the audience, to these guests.
Okay, so as a Jolene, and she said that she wants to thank Justin for all he does all year long, and we'll never get enough time to thank him. And also, she said sometimes she feel like he is herding cats. And then Carl said that he can't wait for his coaching with Marianne on Tuesday.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, and then I personally have questions to Justin, because when he stay a lot of time doing his wonderful job as a deck captain. I wonder, sometimes even the MC have a time for a break. So do you even have time to go to the bathroom? But you always stay there.
I have to time it out. Usually it's during an awards break, or if there are no awards being given, then I have to do it when the cha-cha starts and there's not a change of competitors, and I run and I know I have 5 dances.
Oh, that's how it works. I've been wondering for a long time. And then I also have a question for John and Marianne, that I know that Florida Star Bowl is coming up. And can you tell us a little bit about that? And what is there anything new about this time, or anything special about that?
Well, Florida Star Ball is happening this February 13, 14, and 15. So this year, it's over Valentine's weekend. So we're excited to have a little Valentine's celebration that we're bringing into the mix of this competition. And it's a really beautiful venue in St. Petersburg, Florida. That's called the Hilton at Carillon Park. And I think the important thing is that we love having really great competition, but we really want to enjoy ourselves, and we want our students to enjoy themselves and our judges to enjoy themselves. So you can compete and have fun and have a good time, as it should be. So we have nightclub night this year. We're doing a theme called Viva Las Vegas. And so Elvis might be in the building. You never know.
This might be. Yeah.
So we're really excited about it. We're looking forward to it.
Great.
Yes. Yes.
And then Trang has a question. She said that thank you for all of you doing the interview with Irene and giving John and Marianne has, as well as Martin and Justin, has all have your own comps. Then Shen and Shannon, do you think owning a comp in the nearest future?
Right now we haven't had time to think about it. We've been so busy. We're competing in 3 styles, and we have several Pro-Am students ourselves that we don't want them to feel even the slightest bit like they're second to anything. So in the future, absolutely, we'd love to, but we don't have anything on the horizon right now.
I see. Thank you so much
Do
for
you
all
focus
the
on
questions.
Yeah, do you focus on 9 dances now, your strategy? Because like you mentioned, right? So I have that conversation with my teacher, coach as well in, winning strategy, who will say, okay, 9 dance, a lot of people specialize. You already your cabaret. You are winner, dominant there. Okay, established. Now, do you see yourself more focused on 9 dance? Is the way you go, or you gonna do rhythm, as still your focus?
I think rhythm is still our focus. But as I said earlier, we really want to use this time that we have, like while we're the age that we can do it, to learn the most we can in the other styles too. We've always been excited about the smooth. In the beginning, this is how I actually got Shane to switch to rhythm, was that we promised that we would do 9 dance, and now several years later we're finally doing that. So I think rhythm is still where we're at right now, but we certainly are enjoying the 9 dance.
Okay, great.
Beautiful. I want to follow up with, okay, Ellie, give me a second. I will ask you to continue. So I want to follow up with this too. So we as a pro-am dancer, and like you as the same, we have a very limited time and money and effort. How do you recommend us, because I love all dances, right? So how do you recommend us to choose and prioritize what to do and how to do, or should we just go off to do everything we want, or we should focus, if we are competitors dancers, should we focus on one at a time? What do you guys think?
Who are you asking?
I think you should ask
Shane.
our mentors.
Yes. Okay. So
Well, I am asking because I love all dances.
Okay, I feel that one style will only help the other style. So when you look at American Smooth, okay, if you look at American Smooth, then that's really, American Smooth is based off of 4 styles of dancing. So when you're like in just closed dance position and you don't let go with one hand, you're doing everything that you should be doing like if you were doing the ballroom. But the minute you let go with one hand, any kind of leg line, any position that you do, you should automatically start to treat your leg and foot positions as if you were doing Latin or rhythm, because you would need a turnout to create certain lines, and you don't do that in the ballroom because you're closed. So that's the second one. The third one would be exhibition, what we call exhibition elements. So that's, you understand what a développé is, a ronde is, blah, blah. So that would be the third one. And the fourth one is a theatrical. So even though you're not being lifted, wherever you would need the man's support, you know, to do a big lean out or anything like that, or a body drop, that you would need his support, that would be considered a theatrical element. So with that one style is 4 styles of dancing in one. So whether you're doing the 9 dance or 10 dance, you know, you're still doing Latin. So that is helping your ballroom as well. So that's how I feel about what you do with it.
So basically, you say just go for whatever you
Go for
want
whatever you
in your
want.
heart.
That's right. Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay,
We'll have
one at a
this,
time. So I see 3 hands. Wait,
what I would add to
I
that,
love this. You know,
I totally agree with what Marianne said. What I'm going to say is goes back to enjoying the journey. Don't be in such a rush to be in open gold after
No.
only dancing for a few months,
No.
because you just make it harder for yourself.
Yes.
There's not a good foundation.
No.
Like anything else. If you have a beautiful home, if it's on a bad foundation, you're going to have cracks and messes and all kinds of things. So your base is what you need to put the time and effort into.
People should be in bronze at least for 5 years, bronze, because that's your foundation. And without the foundation, like he said, then, okay, you'll have your cracks. But once you have a very, very strong foundation, everything else will happen.
Because
I am a big believer of that, because I am exactly what John you talked about. I'm so bored of browns. I jumped to gold, and then now I'm so regret that I'm coming back to the basic, and I'm doing the basic. I can't. But I am as guilty as that, and I started that trend and said, "Oh, it's so boring. I'm gonna go for all the funny good stuff." And now I'm coming back to the basic.
Good. Okay,
Good
I'll
for
shut
you.
up
Shane
now.
and Shannon, I saw you raising hands as well. So
Yeah, I was gonna kind of reiterate what John was saying. You know, it comes back to, why are you in the dance studio in the first place? So, you know, if you're there to enjoy dancing, it doesn't matter what style you're doing. Enjoy whichever one you're choosing. If you want to do them all, go for them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. There's no reason why you can't do everything in this dance world, because that's what we're here to do, is to dance. And Marianne obviously can tell you how that works as far as making it actually happen structurally. But the point is that you're here to dance and enjoy it. And that shouldn't be limited to trying to win first place in one style. Potentially, you could win first place in all the styles. You know, there's no one saying that's not possible. All of it would be hard. But, you know, anything worth having isn't easy. So there's something to be said for enjoying it and going for everything that you want.
Absolutely.
Shannon,
You know,
want
it's,
something? Okay, keep going.
sorry, did you want to say something?
You know, we love the basics so much that at, you know, for I forget how many years now, but at Capitol and now at Florida Star Ball, we have professional basics, and you can only do bronze. It's closed, and you can only do bronze through what do I have?
Through
Silver.
Mhm.
That's it. That's it. Bronze through silver. That's it. And it's beautiful. And you know, when people are watching it and the students are going, "Oh my, wow, this is what it can really look like." Yes, it's beautiful. The basics are beautiful. And I think a lot of competitions should have it. And because it's quite nice. And to see it done, you know, really, really well like that with the pros doing it, it's beautiful.
Yes, Shane, you raise hand. Do you want to add, or are you okay with that?
Oh, you're talking to me? No,
Yeah.
I was seconding what they said.
Great. So now I know that another question from Trent. Ali, you want to, ask for Trent? Yeah.
Yes, she actually has two questions. So the first question, maybe we can ask Martin. She said, do you feel some comps are more geared towards Latin, vs smooth, vs ballroom, based on who owns them?
Oh, wow. Ask someone else. I think that the competitions are different from like the Midwest to the East Coast to the West Coast. I think that they're different when I go and judge or when I've taken students. I think the coasts seem to do more Latin. I don't think that's got anything to do with the organizer. I don't think. I guess if you were a fancy schmancy Latin dancer, you're going to attract more Latin. I don't know. At the Midwest, I think we're pretty heavy in the American style. I don't know the correct answer to that. I am aware that it can feel very different.
Anybody want to add to that, answer that question? Okay.
I'll add to it. So I think that, as a competitor, obviously we haven't organized a competition. What we've noticed is that there's a different feel from the competitions.
Yeah.
But I think that is actually more about the type of energy that is being harbored in the event. For example, both Capital, Florida Star Ball, and Wisconsin, all three of those competitions are very family feel. So you go to those three competitions and you feel like you're among friends and among family, and you're dancing with other competitors.
Still competitive.
But it's still competitive.
Yeah.
There are some competitions you go to and it's kind of just cutthroat, and you feel like you're there, do or die, kill who must be killed, whatever kind of thing, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So those competitions,
Oh my God.
although fun in competitive side, you lose something in that lack of family-friendly, friendship-building community. So I would describe it that, what we interpret as more international tends to be those hardcore competition-based ones versus the ones that are still great competition, but harbor more of a friendly environment.
Yeah, I also think like what I think Martin said a minute ago, just like if you have an organizer, especially maybe if they're recently retired or I don't know, something where they have a pretty big reputation in one style over another. I know just from our students, sometimes, not always, but sometimes the ones that are very interested in that particular style may have like a little bit more of a excitement to go there, maybe just because they're more excited about meeting that person or that organizer than it is necessarily that the whole competition is more supportive of that style. I think most organizers are pretty aware and that they have to be well balanced in the four styles. And I know just having competed in three of them ourselves or others in the past that I don't really feel like I've ever been to a competition where I felt like the organizer does not care about my style. So that's my 2 cents on it. But
Great. So more question coming in. This is good. Now we getting up. So Ellie, keep going. You guys okay, right? So okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Trang said that she loves what John is saying about building a good foundation. However, many teachers have to give in to their students who demand to dance in open gold after dancing only a very short period of time. Any thoughts on that?
Yes.
Now that you mention it.
Yes.
Funny you should say.
Well, this is my feeling. And
You don't want to know mine.
yeah. This January marks my 50th year as a professional dance teacher in our industry. And what I would say from the very beginning to now is that if I'm the professional, then I know what's best. And as a student, you might have the desire to want to do something, and I would do everything possible, and I believe any teacher would do whatever is possible to fulfill that desire, but you still have to walk before you run. So just because you want it and just because you're paying for it doesn't mean that you can have it right then and there. And that's with anything. You know, with anything you do in life, we have teachers and we have students. And that's why you're a student and not a professional. So hopefully the professional that you're working with knows best and understands the right direction to take you in. And I'll shut up now.
I will.
We need to give a chance to Marianne first. She's dying. I can't wait to get her answer, and then Sean, we're gonna give it to you. Okay.
You're next.
Yep, come on.
Yeah.
Oh,
They want yours.
Carrie.
okay. Well, so maybe I misunderstood the question. I thought she had asked or said that the teacher wanted her to do open gold and open routines. Was that not right?
No.
Yeah.
So
That
the
was-
student want to
the
go
student.
do the open goal, and then
Okay.
the teacher say, "Okay, give in."
Or the teachers
The
feel like they
teacher.
have to give
Ah,
in.
yeah, the teacher
Teachers
gives
giving
in. No, he shouldn't give in.
No.
He or she, I should say. Well, my feeling with that whole thing is that, you know, as a judge and as a coach, it's okay if you want to do that, but I think there should be boundaries as far as that goes. Like, let's say they're going to put you in that open gold. All right, so maybe the first 16 bars, maybe could be the open part, but then the middle section of the routine should be closed. And then the last half, maybe that last 8 bars of music or 16 bars of music could be open again. Because as a judge, we can see right away, you know, and I would say to myself, why are they doing open work when they can barely do probably closed silver? So I'm not a fan of any of that. And I'm not impressed by that. And so I just feel that maybe if we set rules, or the teacher says, okay, or the student understands, okay, you know what, I want to do something open, but they should be doing, like I said, the beginning part open, the middle section closed, and then the last half open again. Because it gives me as a judge to say, oh, well, you know what, the closed work is good, but the open work, they're not ready for that yet, rather than going, oh my God, why are they in this? So I'm not a fan of that. So I would say the teacher has to think about that.
Okay,
I
more
was a
hands,
student.
and
I understand that because I was a student for 2 years. I was a student. I went into a studio as a guest. I was a guest. I used to work in a bank, if you can believe it. But anyway, no, I know. But anyway, so anyway, yes, I was a guest, and I ran a computer department. Go figure that one.
Oh my God.
There we go. When computers
Whoa.
weren't even. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But
no, we
but
like
anyway,
that story, and we're gonna have that story again next time.
I was a student, and I competed, you know, pro-am, and that's what I grew up with. I was bronze. I was a tap and jazz dancer, so automatically, you know, my teacher could have said, "Oh, well, you know what? I'm going to put you in this, and the other thing," and I wouldn't have known any different. But he didn't. He knew that I was a tap and jazz dancer, and that I was in bronze, and that's where I stayed. That's where I stayed for a couple of years, and then, you know, advanced a little bit, and then I turned pro, and then that's a whole other story. So I understand that, but you see what you see on Dancing with the Stars, but you have to understand as well that there's one student, and they have a week to practice one routine, not 5.
And it's 1 minute.
And it's 1 minute.
Right.
Yeah. So you
We
can't compare
practice
yourself
7
to
hours
that
in
and
a
what
day.
you want. So that's my opinion.
Wait, I saw Martin and Shane, and Shannon to raise hand. Keep one at a time. So,
Who's
okay,
going?
Go
the
ahead.
back.
I had it instilled in me that it's a lot of it is what's appropriate. So whether you're 2 or 102, if you're doing open work that's appropriate for your age or for your ability, it's all good because it's appropriate. I think sometimes that is not kept in mind as well as it should be.
Right.
There's things that we want to do, but we're not able to do, or we want to do, we can do them, but we just shouldn't be doing them because we're too young or too not young. I'm with the not young, so I can say that.
Very well said. Got it. So Shane, okay.
One of the best lessons I had to learn as a new professional, right? Being on the side of wanting more than I should have, right? Was I didn't know the ropes of how this industry works, how teaching works, how competing as new professionals really works. And I had my opinions about what I thought it should be. And my employer at the time, who was John Depalma, had to actually pull me aside, and I'm spouting off to him about it's this and it should be that and all this other stuff. And he cut me off quite aggressively and said to me, "You don't deserve to have an opinion.
You haven't earned
You haven't earned the right to have an opinion.
You don't know enough to have an opinion.
Yeah, that was better said. Yeah.
And he was right, because I didn't have that perspective to know what should or should not be done at that stage.
He didn't speak to me for a week.
And I was
understand that.
I wasn't happy about being told that I didn't know enough to have an opinion, but afterwards, coming back to it, I realized, he was right. I didn't know the basic stuff I needed to know to be able to make the correct decisions or more appropriate decisions going forward. So after I recognized that lesson and took time to learn those basics, same with the dancing, learning the basics, you get so much more out of it. As well as when we turned professional, I was that student as a youth and amateur dancer that skipped beyond the basics. I didn't learn the basics. And it was a very rude awakening to turn professional and realize I don't know my basics as well as I should. And I had to go back and prepare for my exams and all that and learn the basics from square one, just like a baby brown student. And that was actually the time period of our professional teaching and learning that was probably where I learned the most. Once I accepted that lesson, that I didn't know enough to have an opinion.
And look at you today.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I think that's the mark of a very good teacher too. I mean, we learned from the best. We would tell anybody that. John taught us how to be good teachers, or we hope to be good teachers. But just that a real good teacher, I think, will be brave enough to kind of stand up to the student and in a loving way, which John did, and just say, I'm sorry, but like you're not seeing this clearly because they have a scope like this and your scope is this. And even though your scope may have widened from where you were a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, it's still not exceeding the teachers, and that there's so much more there than just like maybe you're even more flexible or something, but that doesn't give you that you have more ability than that person who's teaching you. So I think that's kind of forgotten sometimes. I see in both the professionals, maybe like, I would say like what Marianne said, hopefully they would stand up and just lovingly say, but unfortunately, maybe sometimes they just love their students so much or they care so much that they get blinded by that. I don't know. But hopefully not. And that the students, can recognize they're not just trying to keep you down. That's not the goal.
Right.
Hope we answered your question, trying.
Yeah. Or just keep making you spend money.
Oh, geez, yeah.
Yes, I do hear some student worry about that, right? So I really appreciate you guys bring this to ground. And it is some of the negative thoughts and people thinking about that because I heard of it. And this is good to, talk about that. How to find a good teacher. It is such a important thing for us as a student or amateur. You did mention one important thing is that the teacher lovingly, but also be able to stand up and say what they need to say is one important element. any other elements or guidance for us to look for a good teacher? Because a good coach, good teacher really is a great foundation for our good dancing journey, right? Thought.
Yeah, boss.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Well, there's several things that I would say about that. Well, the first thing that I would say is that, you know, we get very excited when we see professionals out there dancing and doing so well, and they're exciting to watch when they're competing, and you know the crowd is with them, and it's fabulous. It is. Nothing compares to it. It's just amazing. So sometimes the allure of that opportunity to be able to take lessons with them is what will guide a student to want to dance with that particular person. But just because somebody is a great dancer does not mean that they are a great teacher. So what I would say is that great teachers make great dancers, but great dancers don't necessarily make great teachers. So there's several things that I think a student should look for. And if you go to the National Dance Council website, ndca.org, it lists every single registered professional qualified in the country, state by state. The website will show you whether they've taken an exam, whether they've been certified by an organization. And that's important because that means that you've studied your craft, and it's not only that you can execute what you've been taught, but you understand how to do what you're doing, and you can make that a transferable concept to a student. And I think that some of that is missing sometimes, you know, with some people, and the students wind up becoming disillusioned because they're not making the progress that they think they should be. And all of a sudden, now you start looking at what kind of value am I getting for the dollars that I'm spending? I don't think anybody cares about what they're spending if you feel that you're being fulfilled. I also believe that belonging to a studio is very important, and you should research that studio, because the quality of the teachers that they have, good studios, whether they're independent or franchised, require their teachers to be certified. And there are always vehicles that the studio will do to give you the opportunity as a student to develop your skills, whether it's a practice party on a Friday night or a Saturday night, or an in-house team match, or a showcase. All of those things are wonderful vehicles to be able to develop your skill set and the quality of your dancing and the enjoyment of it. That's how you find a good teacher, my opinion.
Yes, so this is a wonderful, I think we need to all learn. There's more questions, Ellie? Oh, you mute. Ellie, you're mute.
Oh, sorry. Sandy Moreno's asked, do you have any advice on how to get out of your own head? I love to dance, but I get on the floor and forget to smile, and I look angry.
3 gin and tonics.
I have a little bit on that. I've worked with a sports psychologist specifically on this subject, mostly just because in the cabaret, I can't afford to have too much anxiety or whatever because it can cost big. So there was actually a couple, like I can just give, quick little things that of course
you know, nothing makes up that time with actually like maybe working with somebody who's an expert on this, like the sports psychologist, but some quick little things that she gave some of my students, she came in and did a presentation for, were one, have some kind of focused breathing before you perform. So something that like, it's different kind of for different people, but like Shane will fall asleep actually in the lineup area. Justin's seen him. And which I wouldn't advise for everybody, but for him, he's kind of learned that he's not really fully asleep. It's just kind of when he's in that relaxed state, he knows he's going to dance better. He's not overthinking things like that. That does not work for me, so I can't fall asleep like that. But just kind of focusing on for 5 minutes on the feeling of cold air on the inside of your like nostrils as it comes in, and then breathing out through your nose again and kind of feeling the warm sensation of your nose. And when your brain goes to other places, bringing it back to that cold air in, warmer out, and not judging yourself for letting your brain wander. But it actually trains your brain to be able to focus on one thing that at a time, which is needed for high level performance. And then another thing you can do even in between dances, when that anxiety kind of overtakes you or whatever, is literally just find something in the room. So it can be like, you know, orange painting, maybe something in our room here, black turtleneck, red glasses, something like that. But it's just five quick little things that you see to distract yourself for just a moment from that anxious feeling. So I've done that with students that I've had on the floor with me before. Just simply ask them, what do you see right now? What do you see right now? What do you see right now? And they kind of know, you know, Shannon's crazy drills, but it does work, and it does get your brain off of that anxious feeling. So
That's great. Thank you. So another question, Ellie?
Yes, here's one comment and one question. And Trang said, we love Capital and it's unique because it offers professional basics. So, and then Jose asked, when I was doing amateur competitions in the 1980s, I believe that Sammy Stofford and Barbara McCall danced basics only in one of the championship competitions. Do any of you remember this as well?
I'm going to say it was probably the either the Imperial Championship, because they would have done the Latin. And when I danced professionally with Dustin, he and I did the basics at the North American Championships. And so I'm going to say that's probably what they did. They probably did it either at the Imperial Championship or the North American Championships, which is in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and then it moved to Atlantic City. So that's probably what they saw, but Capital is for the American style. So we do the American style smooth and the American style rhythm. But I'm going to assume that that's what they probably had done. They did the same thing that we had done.
I'm sorry, were you going to talk?
I was going to say, I just remember when Sammy and Barbara did their basic rumba in the Open British in Blackpool, which was a huge thing. She also came out in a very short little dress with sparkly suspenders on her fishnets, which was very shocking back in the day. So that was a big kind of historical moment that they did one dance. And I think, as I remember, a lot of the other couples in the final, they kind of joined in just for rumba.
That's nice.
Wasn't
like that.
If I remember correctly, at that time, what was very popular choreography-wise, there was so many tricks and different things that were happening that the basic concept of the dances was disappearing. And Sammy and Barbara did that.
Yeah, I don't think there was many tricks, but I do think it was losing its authenticity.
Right, they did that to bring the authenticity back.
And I think also to spotlight themselves, they were very clever and very sensible. It was the place went mental. The roof came off. So they were very clever to do that.
Okay, that's great. Let's finishing up because we are about at the end of the hour. Ellie, you have a few more comments or things from the for the life that you want to share with the team?
Yes, just two more comments. Jolene said that glad to see age groupings for seniors change to become shorter, so more of us actually get to compete without having to dance down our age group or sit out a comp because there were more of us than the slots available. And then Jose agreed. I'm glad that there are senior amateur competitions because I then felt that my partner and I could compete and have a chance of placing. Oh, there's just another question. Hi, friends. What advice do you have to us new
Last question,
dancers?
okay?
Okay.
That's the last question. That's
Okay,
it.
on how to
Okay.
keep our comfort and style when still trying to fit in to the look that most people think ballrooms should have.
Say that
Say that
again.
again.
Can you
Okay.
repeat that question?
What advice do you have to us, the new dancers, on how to keep our comfort and style when still trying to fit into the look that most people think ballrooms should have?
Good one.
I think just, I mean, that could kind of be taken, I feel like, two ways, like the comfort of the dancer, like maybe some of the costuming or whatever is uncomfortable for them, or just staying to their own style versus it just being bad technique. I know is maybe another way. I think that first, again, those basics, like competing in a closed category, helps you really iron out what you should know before you can start exploring. If you can't, do something the right way first, then how can you create something new about it? And then, yeah, I think that's probably where they're going with that. But okay.
What I try to do with my students sometimes is put it in a different light for them. If I'm understanding the question properly, it sounds like, how do I personalize, something and put my own style on it, my own stamp on it, versus just being perfect in that style. So I kind of, have been using this analogy where it's like a wall in your house. What color do you want to paint it? It's still a wall. So it's still a basic cha-cha, side basic. But how can I make that wall look more unique? Am I going to paint it white? Am I going to paint it yellow, purple? What color do you want to paint your wall? So how can I make my cha-cha basic look a little bit more the way I want it to look versus just doing it exactly perfectly right? So I think understanding those basics, like Picasso, for instance, he had to know the rules before he could break the rules, kind of thing. So know your basics and then explore what can I do to make it a little bit more special. And that's, I think, purely exploration, hopefully guided by your teacher to decide, do I want to rotate further? Do I want to stretch it out a little bit longer before I snap the foot in the cha-cha basic or something, How do you want to personalize that cha-cha basic?
Or
I
if it
want
has
to add from, go ahead.
sorry, or if it has to do with the other side of that question, which is the style, the grooming side and the image that you're trying to put out, then I think that a student needs to be honest with the teacher and with the dress designer if they're going to have a dress made or if they are not going to have a dress made, but they're shopping for a resale, to choose something, help them choose something that they're appropriate, they feel appropriate in, that they feel good in, and to also understand that when you're competing, you're on stage. There's stage lighting and all different kinds of things. I know that we've dealt with it for years when all of a sudden the student gets made up and they look at themselves and they go, oh my God, like, who's this person? I look like a hooker. This isn't what, I thought I was going to look like. But then it's up to the professional to make them understand visually that you're not face to face with somebody in a private setting in regular life. You're on stage, and you can see it in the lineup photos where everybody looks relatively normal, as opposed to when you look in the mirror and you go, oh my God, who is this person? You know, so there's big differences of how things look on the dance floor as opposed to off the dance floor. And that's another whole, part of the process.
Yeah, as a dress designer, and I myself, I always trying to tell, and a competitor dancer myself, I always tell my customer or students and say, you will dance how you feel, right? That's 100% on yourself to try to understand your goal, where you stand and how comfortable you are and what kind of style and who you are first, right? So find yourself. To know yourself is important. To talk it through, I like to, sometimes they don't know, so do come to me if you need that, and we can talk with you and trying to bring out your thoughts, where you are. When you're a beginner, even though you're looking at other people like that, it may not suit you. So, for example, I have students say, "Oh, people show a lot of leg," and said, "I want to talk to your teacher to understand your leg line is at the best time, or should you show it, or maybe not showing it at this point." So then you can have a dress that fit your needs and make sure you look the best at your stage, right? So some of those things that I tend to want to have a conversation when you're beginning of it. And again, I'm not sure you heard the guesser saying, make sure you feel comfortable, and then make sure you are comfortable before you jump into the competition, and then think about knowing your steps, so you get that into yourself as well. So knowing your steps and practice, and and then work with your dress designer to make you look the part and make you feel comfortable as you yourself, when you step out of that dress, and you feel good, and then you dance good. You feel sexy, you dance sexy. You feel
That's right.
elegant, you dance elegant. So you really dance how you feel. That's how I see it.
And it's how
Anyway.
you feel about yourself, and not how I look compared to somebody else, because it's not to be compared to anybody else.
Perfect. That's what we are talking about. Self. Understand your goal, yourself, and then that's how you flourish. You are unique. So don't necessary to be like someone else. And that's what I will want to say. And that's what I have been learning from a lot of guesses. And I later on, after 17 years, and I realized that. So so it takes a long time sometimes, so we go back to the basic, and then focus on self. It is the way we're going to enjoy the journey. And thank you so much for all of you participating, and I learned so much from this conversation, and I'm grateful for your participation. And hopefully we're going to have a lot more individual talk, and then bring more answers for more of the dancers and students. Thank you. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you again, sharing and the joy with us. And I am Irene Wong, and you are watching the YouTube channel Everything Ballroom. And I hope you like what we're doing, and give us a thumbs up, and subscribe to the channel. The next times we will going to talk about a very important topic. It's money. So ballroom dancing is a very expensive sport, and we also, we always learn that study shows that millionaires have multiple source of income. 7, actually, they said, at least basic 7 source of income. As a dancer community, how can we learn and see where we can build extra income. And in the next time we'll have my friend and mentor Heidi Ng, who's going to join us on January the 13th, 7:30 Eastern time, and to talk about that. And she is a mom of 3 boys, and then she is a dance dress owner like me, and she also is a presidential director, a team elite for New Skin. And she's going to share her experience and help us and look at and say, hey, how can we earn extra and all together? So please make sure you book your calendar, January 13th, 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you for watching us, Everything Ballroom, and thank you.
Thank you.